I'm Brendon from Panic at the Disco. I'm hanging out with Rock Sound, and I'm going to give you guys some insight into my new record, Too Rare to Live, Too Rare to Die. So it starts off, actually first song, This Is Gospel, which was the second video we shot for it. That was one that I was actually really hesitant to show anybody, band, management, anybody. It was really personal. It was about my buddy Spencer, who's a member of the band, who wanted, it was hard to convince him to be that honest, but it was about him battling his addiction. And that was like the first, one of the first songs written. I think it was maybe the fifth or sixth song written for the record, purposefully for the record. And I was really glad when I got feedback from the guys in the band and also management when they told me that they really liked the song, because I mean, musically I was like, it seems kind of, bland a little bit. I wasn't sure. And lyrically it was so honest and just so confessional, which is always a tough thing, I think, to share with people. But it ended up being a cathartic experience too, just getting that off my chest. So yeah, This Is Gospel. I love it. It's very anthemic. Miss Jackson, song number 2. That was one that it really I've been saying to a couple people that this record is kind of hip-hop inspired, and that one I feel is a little bit more in that vein. I'm a fan of Janet Jackson, and I was watching her video for Nasty, and she said that, she's like, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I tried a couple other ones. I tried Audrey Hepburn, I mean, that didn't really work out. Miss Hepburn, I was like, that's kind of weird. Marilyn Monroe, that didn't work out syllabically. Miss Jackson just worked out, and it was kind of perfect. I don't know, it just fit. I really liked the way it fit, but yeah, that song I felt was so different and so strong. It was like the second to last song written for the record, and that's when I knew yes, this record is done. We're good. I was really excited, and that was why it was the first single. The song is combined it's a combination of how I saw Vegas when I was younger, when I was a kid growing up, and how I see it now. And that's how it became this homage where I was celebrating my fantastical point of view of Vegas, and it worked out because I'm really proud of that song. I think, musically it's a song that I would like to hear played in a club in Vegas, and lyrically it's just all about celebrating the decadence and the debauchery that Vegas is known for. So. Number 4, Girl That You Love. That song, it started out, musically I wanted to do kind of a Depeche Mode, kind of synth-driven driving song that. It actually lyrically started as a French song. I just gotten back from holiday with, it was me and my wife, my fiance at the time, and Spencer and his girlfriend, and we spent, right after tour, we spent 2 days in London and 4 days in Paris. And I was trying to learn French during that time. I forget everything that I learned. Spencer's girlfriend actually speaks French fluently, and she was an amazing teacher, and she was telling me things here and there. And I wanted to learn so bad, so when I got back and I started forgetting some of the French I learned, I made a point to try to write a song in French, which ended up kind of being a pretentious thing. I was like, why am I going to write the song in French? But the song was originally it's called Cœur de Joie Mauve, which means heart of marshmallow, marshmallow heart. And Joie Mauve was we went to this macaroon place, and I just love the word. It's like, oh, Joie Mauve, that's awesome. And when I sat down and I showed the guys in the band the song, I was like, I don't know if it should be in French. Can we try to do this in English? And the idea was to match the French sounding words to something that was also similar sounding in English. So Cœur de Joie Mauve became Girl That You Love. So it kind of sounded similar, and so we took all the syllables and just matched them to other lyrics, and it became about this other thing. I mean, it started as marshmallow heart, my heart is so soft. It was just a really weird thing. But yeah, it became Girl That You Love, and yeah, that one's a very 80s dark synth-driven song. Number 5, Nicotine. Yeah, I smoke cigarettes, and that was, the song is about another experience I went through where, this girl that is so bad for you, but you just get that late night call, you call her up, you're like, let me come over, and she's bad for you, she's gonna, not give a shit about you, but you just keep going back. It's just like cigarettes. You're like, I know you're not good for me, but I love it. I can't help it, you know. And that's where the lyric "You're worse than nicotine" came from. Just matching everything and personifying the cigarette as a woman, and vice versa. Yeah, that one. We actually wrote that song with. It was me and Dallin and this great, super talented guy named Amir. We wrote that in New York, and he could relate. He was actually Amir was going through that same thing with a girl at the time, and yeah, I really like that one. Musically, it's so different too. It's like more of a club, kind of dancey song, which I really wanted to incorporate into this record.